After more than 30 years working in operating rooms and rehabilitation wards, I have learned something most people never hear until it is too late. The moment a person over 65 begins losing their leg strength is almost never during activity. It begins before they ever leave the bed. I have seen patients who walked on their own for decades suddenly struggle with balance, stiffness, and weakness. And when we trace the pattern back, it was not age alone, it was what their legs were and were not being asked to do. There are 5 exercises you can do in your own bed, and they build more leg strength for a person over 65 than 50 squats. I know exactly how that sounds. So before anything else, let me tell you why it is true. When you do a squat, your knees carry your entire body weight. Most of your effort goes into holding that weight up, and your knees take the punishment. The muscle only gets a small part of the work. That is why so many people over 65 do squats, ache for 2 days, and get almost nothing back. These 5 movements take that weight away completely. Your bed carries it, so all of your effort goes straight into the muscle, and none of it into the joint. That is why a few good repetitions beat 50 squats. Now, most people over 65 do not do squats. They walk. And walking is good for you. But walking moves your legs. It does not work them. It carries you forward in one straight line, using the same 2 muscles thousands of times a day. Meanwhile, the deep muscles that hold your knee steady and catch you when you stumble are barely asked to do anything. So they fade quietly, while you feel like you are doing everything right. We will rank all 5, from least impactful to most effective. Stay with me for number 2, because it works muscles almost nobody over 65 has trained in decades. Before we continue, tell me something. How old are you, and where are you watching from? I read every comment you leave. Now, let us begin. Number 5, short arc knee extensions. This first exercise might seem almost too small to matter, but do not let that fool you for a second. Short arc knee extensions are one of the first movements prescribed after knee surgery in nearly every orthopedic rehabilitation program in the world, and there is a very specific medical reason for that. The muscle on the front of your thigh, the quadriceps, does more than straighten your knee. A portion of it sits just above the kneecap and holds that kneecap in its groove. When that section weakens, the kneecap begins to track slightly off center. You do not feel pain at first. You feel something worse. You feel the knee hesitate on a stair, as though for half a second it was not there. Rehabilitation research consistently shows this small section of muscle weakens earlier and faster than the rest of the thigh, and that walking does almost nothing to restore it, because walking never straightens the knee against meaningful resistance. Here is exactly how to do it. Roll a bath towel into a firm tube about the size of your forearm, lie flat on your back, and place that roll under one knee so the knee rests in a slight bend. Your heel stays on the bed. Now, keeping the back of your thigh resting on the roll, slowly straighten your lower leg until the knee is completely straight. Only the lower half of your leg moves. At the top, squeeze the muscle above your kneecap as hard as you can and hold for 5 full seconds. Then lower your heel back down over a slow count of 3. That is 1 repetition. Perform 10 repetitions on one leg, then switch. Complete 3 sets on each side. Here is the tip that makes the difference. Place your hand flat on your thigh just above the kneecap while you do it. If you cannot feel that muscle harden under your palm, you are lifting with momentum rather than tension. Slow down until you feel it. Within 2 weeks, most people notice the same thing. Stairs stop feeling uncertain. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 5 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 4, clamshells. Now, let us move to the muscles that decide whether you stay upright when your balance is genuinely tested. But before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 4, clamshells. Here is something most people do not realize. A real fall is almost never forward. You catch a rug, your weight shifts sideways, and for a fraction of a second, your entire body is balanced over one hip. The muscles on the outside of that hip either hold your pelvis level or they do not. If they do not, you go down. Those muscles are the hip abductors, and research on falls in adults over 60 has repeatedly identified weakness there as one of the strongest warning signs of a future fall, a stronger signal in many studies than weak knees. And walking trains them almost not at all, because walking is a forward motion and these muscles work sideways. Here is how to perform a clamshell correctly. Roll onto your right side. Bend both knees to roughly a right angle and keep your feet together, one stacked on the other. Rest your head on your arm or a pillow. Now, the critical part. Stack your hips directly on top of one another, square to the ceiling. Keeping your feet touching, lift your top knee upward like a clamshell opening. Open only as far as you can, while keeping your hips perfectly stacked. Hold the top position for 3 seconds, squeezing the outside of your hip. Lower over 3 slow seconds. Perform 15 repetitions, then roll over and repeat. 3 sets per side. This is the exercise people get wrong most often, so listen closely. The moment your top hip rolls backward, your lower back takes over and the hip muscle receives almost nothing. Imagine your back is pressed flat against a wall. After 1 week, you will feel a muscle on the side of your hip you had genuinely forgotten you owned. That is the muscle that catches you. Number 3. Bed knee bends. If your knees ache in the morning, feel stiff, or make unsettling sounds when you move, this exercise is going to become your best friend. The reason it works comes down to the fluid inside the joint. Your knee is a hinge that depends on a thick lubricating fluid to move without grinding. That fluid only circulates when the joint is carried through its full range of motion. When your knee sits at the same angle for 7 or 8 hours overnight, the fluid stops moving and the joint becomes thick and stubborn. That is exactly why the first 30 seconds out of bed are the worst part of your day. Studies on knee recovery consistently find that gentle sliding knee bends restore lost range of motion faster and with less pain than exercises performed standing, because the mattress carries your weight and the joint is never compressed. Here is how to do it. Lie flat on your back with both legs extended. Wear socks or place a folded hand towel under your heel so it glides instead of dragging. Textured sheets will fight you. Slowly slide one heel along the mattress toward your buttocks, letting the knee bend as the heel travels. Keep the heel in contact with the bed the entire way. Go as far as you comfortably can without sharp pain. Hold at the deepest point for 3 seconds, then slide back out over 3 seconds. Perform 12 repetitions on one leg, then 12 on the other, 2 to 3 sets each. One tip that changes this exercise completely. Keep your kneecap pointing straight up at the ceiling the whole time. When the knee drifts inward or outward, you load the cartilage unevenly, which is exactly the pattern that wears a joint down over the years. Most people notice it within a week, in one very specific way. Getting out of bed stops being a negotiation. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 2, toe curls. And now number 2, the one I told you to wait for. Number 2, toe curls. Here is a group of muscles almost nobody over 65 has trained in decades, and they may matter more than your thighs. Inside each of your feet are more than 20 small muscles. They are called the intrinsic foot muscles, and they are the very first point of contact between your body and the ground. Every time you stand, your toes are quietly gripping to keep you steady. When the floor shifts, when you step on the edge of a rug, these muscles fire before your brain has registered that anything is wrong. They are your first line of defense, and they act faster than any decision you could make. Decades of stiff-soled shoes leave most older adults with feet that are almost completely switched off. Balance research keeps finding the same pattern. Weak foot and toe muscles mean poor balance, and poor balance means falls. The encouraging part is that these muscles wake up remarkably quickly. Here is how to do it. Lie in bed with your legs straight and relaxed, and pull the covers off your feet so nothing restricts the motion. Curl all of your toes downward, as though you are trying to scrunch up the bed sheet with your feet. Curl as hard as you can and hold that squeeze for 5 seconds. Then do the opposite. Spread your toes wide apart and pull them upward toward your shins, and hold that for 5 seconds. That is 1 repetition. Perform 15 repetitions, 3 sets. If you want the stronger version, lay a small towel flat near your feet and use only your toes to drag it toward you, inch by inch. Your feet may cramp the first few times. That is not a warning sign. That is a muscle being asked to do its job for the first time in 20 years. 2 weeks in, people describe the same feeling. The floor feels solid again. Number 1, bed edge marches. And now we arrive at number 1, the single exercise that produced the strongest lower body engagement of anything on this list, and the reason it beats 50 squats. Number 1, bed edge marches. Every other movement in this video is performed lying down. This one is performed sitting upright on the edge of your bed, with your feet on the floor. That one change transforms everything, because now your body must hold itself upright while your legs work. Your hip flexors lift the leg, your thigh stabilizes the knee, your deep core holds your spine steady, and your balance system runs in the background the entire time. 4 systems, in one movement, in the exact pattern real life demands, and this is why it outperforms 50 squats. In a squat, your knee joint absorbs your full body weight, and much of your effort leaks into the joint rather than the muscle. Here, the effort has nowhere to go except into the muscle. Nothing is wasted, and nothing is punished. The muscle it targets most directly is the hip flexor, the muscle that lifts your thigh. Research on adults over 65 who have fallen finds hip flexor weakness present in the large majority of them. When this muscle fades, your foot stops clearing the ground properly. You begin to shuffle, and a shuffle turns every rug, every threshold, every doorway into a genuine hazard. Here is exactly how to perform it. Sit on the edge of your bed, with your back straight and both feet flat on the floor. Sit tall. Rest your hands lightly beside you, but do not lean on them. Now lift one knee upward as high as you comfortably can, like a slow march. Hold at the top for 2 seconds. Lower over 2 seconds until the foot is flat again. Then lift the other knee. Both legs together is 1 complete repetition. Perform 12 repetitions, 3 sets. The tempo is the entire exercise. 2 seconds up, 2 second hold, 2 seconds down. Count it out loud, because speaking forces you to breathe and stops you from straining. And here is the most important instruction in this video. Do not use your hands. If you need them in the first week, that is perfectly fine. But the goal is hands off the bed, sitting tall, letting your legs and core carry everything. As it becomes easier, usually around week 3, sit slightly further forward on the edge, or add a light ankle weight of 1 or 2 pounds. You will feel like you are starting over. That is exactly the point. 4 to 6 weeks of this, done every morning before you stand, and the reports are always the same 3 things. Rising from a chair without hands, stairs without gripping the rail, and walking to the bathroom at night without touching the wall. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. There you have it. 5 bed exercises that build the exact muscles walking leaves behind. Short arc knee extensions for the knee. Clamshells for the hip that catches you sideways. Bed knee bends for morning stiffness. Toe curls for the feet that grip the ground. And bed edge marches, the single movement that ties all of it into real, usable strength. The entire routine takes under 15 minutes, requires no equipment, and works on any mattress. Now let me make this simple, because the biggest reason people fail is not the exercises. It is doing all 5 on day 1, feeling sore and quitting by Thursday. Week 1, numbers 5 and 4 only. Week 2, add 3 and 2. Week 3, add number 1, and you are running the full routine. If you can only ever do one, do number 1. And one thing I need to say plainly. If any of these produce sharp pain, not muscle burn, but sharp pain, stop and speak with your doctor, especially after recent surgery or a blood clot. Burn is fine. Burn is the point. Sharp pain is information. Now I want to hear from you. Be honest in the comments. Can you stand up out of your chair right now without using your hands? Tell me yes or no, then come back in 3 weeks and tell me again. I would love to read that second comment. If you found this helpful, subscribe so you never miss information like this. Thank you so much for watching.